First day of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations.
And it's that time in the show where we go through the newspapers. Today we're joined by the royal author and former Home Office Minister, Norman Baker. Lovely to see you, Norman.
Thank you.
What do you think of our studio?
I think it's fantastic. We've got the best view in the world, haven't we?
We have,
For the viewers here.
absolutely. Witnessing history in the making, indeed, Norman. And look, all of the papers reflecting what, as we have been saying, is frankly a historic day.
Yes, all the papers have the Queen on the front, of course. No surprises there, apart from the Guardian. And the Daily Star.
The Guardian doesn't.
The Guardian doesn't. The Daily Star doesn't, and the Financial Times doesn't. And I don't understand the Financial Times headline actually.
Okay.
And even so, something very peculiar and financial in nature. However, most of the papers have got this new portrait of the Queen, which you've been referring to on the programme so far, which is a nice pose, I think. She features on the front of the Daily Express. A grateful nation salutes you, ma'am, is sort of typical of the headlines. My favourite front page in royal terms is actually the Eye, which has, which I think your people have got on screen, which has got 70 pictures of the Queen in the silhouette of her head, as it would be on a
like
coin.
A stamp.
It's a stamp or a coin or something, but it's actually rather nicely done, I think. It sort of captures the reign.
Yeah, it's a profile we're familiar with, isn't it? And that montage, it's a great idea.
Oh, I like that. What's the Telegraph got for us today?
The Telegraph, what's the Telegraph got? The Telegraph has got the Queen's speech, actually, her comments, which are reported in some detail there. Not all the papers do that, by the way, but the Telegraph does do that. And the portrait, as always, which I referred to a moment ago. And of course, later on, the papers do cover other stories. There are other stories today.
But it's interesting that she makes a point of reflecting on the future, or looking forward to the future of this country, which of course is inevitably looking beyond her time. And she's the idea is, I guess, that she's wanting to leave us in a good position.
I think that's probably right. And clearly there's going to be a great deal of celebration in the next few days, and clearly there's a lot of goodwill towards the Queen from all quarters, I think. I don't think it necessarily means goodwill towards the royal family generally, but I mean that's perhaps not the point to make today. Today is about the Queen and about her 70 years, which is an astonishing achievement just in terms of length of service, apart from anything else. 70 years, as we've heard earlier on, she's behind Louis XIV, was it? I think 2 years.
Yes, 2 years behind.
That's it, and then she's caught him up, and that's it, which is astonishing. And the fact of the matter is, look, I'm nearly at my retirement age, but she was on the throne when I was born, and there are very few people really who will remember a period before she was around. I mean, you've got to be probably the same age as her almost to remember anything from George VI's time. So for all of us in the country, we've only ever had the Queen, so there'll be a seismic change in many ways when she finally does go.
Well, let's not dwell too much on that just yet, but let's talk, shall we, about what will be, frankly, a family reunion as well, a family celebration, and Harry and Meghan on British soil together for the first time in 2 years, having flown in for the celebrations. Indeed, they will be just down the Mall a little bit later on, not doing the procession, part of the Trooping the Colour, but they will be in Horse Guards Parade. And the Sun's covering that, saying, "Don't you just love her?" A clever play on the word letters ER. But what are they saying about Harry and Meghan's
Harry and
arrival?
Meghan jet in. They're referred to on the front page as flying in from the US. And actually, you could expect the papers to do some mischief making, but they haven't actually. They played it straight down the line. That peace has broken out. I think show of unity, the Sun describes it as one big happy family. So nobody's in the mood for making any snidey comments, I think, today.
Good. Well, isn't that nice? Because
nice.
Whatever else people may think, this is the Queen and her grandchild and now great-grandson and great-granddaughter that she's never met Lilibet before, has
No,
she?
that's right. I mean, so it will be quite a family reunion in that sense, or not even a reunion, but an introduction in some respects. So, no, it's nice the papers are just playing it straight, actually, because, 70 years is an amazing achievement, and there are other occasions when wider points can be made, I think.
Yeah. Look, if we move on to one or two other things, a bit more political, because it's in the Times, I think, isn't it? And the Prime Minister, we know, is in a bit of bother. This isn't the whole Partygate thing isn't going away for him as we want, but his front bench colleagues are doing what they can to rally round him.
Well, they are, and as you say, there is other news in the world today, which has been obviously pushed right back within the pages of the papers, so it's not there, and what might have been on the front page is now on page 10 or 11 in some of the papers. But I mean, the fact is that the Prime Minister is in some difficulty, of his own making, in my view. We've got The Guardian referring, in fact, to the Ethics Code mistrust. The Times you mentioned, Stephen, has got the situation where people are coming out to defend him, Nadine Dorris, whereas other Tory MPs are, of course, gradually sending in letters of no confidence to Graham Brady.
Yeah, well, indeed, we had Dominic Raab on the programme, Deputy Prime Minister, this time yesterday, defending the Prime Minister, saying that a break in the law wasn't necessarily a breach of the ministerial code, and adamant that there would be no vote of no confidence next week. And we talk about how this story is being pushed out of the way by the Platinum Jubilee, but I suppose there are some theories, aren't there, out there, that perhaps the threshold has been reached for the 54 letters, but that vote of no confidence is being delayed. I mean, we can't be sure either way, but it is a possibility that next Tuesday we might well see, once the Commons returns.
That's right. Well, Graham Brady is the only person who knows that, who is the 1922 committee chair, who receives the letters of no confidence which have come in, and it would clearly be bad form, I think, for Graham Brady to make an announcement in the middle of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So if he has received the letters, we won't know until Tuesday. What I would say is that when Theresa May was subject to a vote of no confidence a couple of years ago, we only knew about 30 letters at that point, and suddenly there were 54. So it's quite normal, I think, for people to put in letters and not tell the public at large that they've done so. And therefore the fact that we know about 30 letters now already suggests that that threshold may have been reached. Certainly the Prime Minister is in some difficulty. And I think one last point to make is that the change to the ministerial code, which weakens the ministerial code, to effectively allow himself to be declared not guilty and to not have to resign. I mean, that is a tin ear.
The timing is unfortunate.
To be fair, the ministerial code is a difficult thing, isn't it? Because it is enforced by the Prime Minister,
Indeed it is.
And therefore the Prime Minister does not have to hold himself to that code.
Well, to be honest with you, the Prime Minister should not be holding himself to account. He should be held to account by Parliament or by his advisor, Lord Gate, who's now threatening to resign, of course. So, it was a bad move from the Prime Minister to do that at that particular point.
Yeah.